Hello and welcome. Today on BOI Weekly, Good Intentions Limited, a major player in the maritime industry with interests in oil and gas, joins the list of businesses supported by the Bank of Industry. The story of Dr. Kofo Olugbesan, the MD CEO, is that of preparation meeting opportunity, as her desire to play in the LPG industry happened at the time when the federal government was looking to increase the level of women participation in the oil and gas industry. With the support of the gender desk at the Bank of Industry, G-Gas was able to acquire an ultra-modern gas plant located at the Onitsha end of the Niger Bridge, originally owned and operated by Total plc. Today, she has become a major producer and supplier for both industrial and retail consumers of LPG in the southeastern region of the country. I'm Kayode Alayande. Welcome to the program. Good Intentions Services Limited is a global player in the maritime industry, providing efficient stevedoring services as well as supply chain management, special cargo clearance, freight forwarding, customs brokerage, warehousing, consultancy, door-to-door clearing, shipping, and of course training. However, in response to the latest developments in the oil and gas industry, especially with the penetration of LPG, the company recently diversified its operations to include LPG gas plant management and distribution through its newly acquired ultra-modern LPG gas plant in Onitsha, the Anambra State capital. Whether it's providing maritime support services or distributing LPG, the operations of Good Intentions Limited is a reflection of the wealth of experience of the executive management. The MD CEO, Mrs. Kofo Olugbesan, retired as an Assistant Controller General of Customs, the first woman ever to achieve the status in Nigeria.
The business was actually established in 1987. When I left the service in 1995, I bought it over and expanded it more into maritime services. Before, it was purely established as a clearing agent outfit, but I expanded the coast by adding other aspects of maritime services into the business, expanding my base and bringing in my knowledge and my expertise and experience while I was in service into making it one of the companies you can rely on when it comes to maritime services, where I bring in my knowledge of law and my experience as a customs officer. I handle quite a number of indulgences for some of my clients. Most of my clients are corporate organizations.
The parent company, Good Intentions Limited, acquired the gas plant from the original owners, Total plc, through intervention funds from the Bank of Industry, and swiftly commenced commercial operation in January of 2019.
When the opportunity came out, I ventured into oil and gas and approached BOI for the support, and here am I having an LPG plant which I got in Onitsha, and that's the place I am right now.
The G-Gas LPG plant located at the Niger Bridge head sits on a 2-acre property within the industrial estate in Onitsha, the Anambra State capital. The strategic location of the facility not only guarantees access to market, It ensures that industrial and retail consumers of LPG in the southeast region receive adequate supply for quality gas.
Being in a market hub, and in an industrial area, the LPG goes beyond just domestic home use. Some of these companies use LPG to fuel their forklifts. So we supply LPG to some of these companies. Instead of using diesel, they use gas, and that is setting the pace for even the auto gas. They are already using it for forklift, quite a number of, and we tapped into that to ensure that we win some of the customers around that area and beyond. And we found it something that could go far, in the sense that the main thing is really for home use, but then it has other uses.
So what makes the G-Gas plant unique, aside from its strategic location? According to the technical advisor, Mr. Obi Nawafo, safety is priority.
One of the most important systems in an LPG plant is a hydrant water system. The hydrant water system is for fighting fires. Not necessarily LPG fires, but fires that might lead to LPG fires. So anywhere you have any sort of fire around the plant, within the plant or in the surrounding areas, we have to make sure that that fire is properly put out. So we have our storage tanks containing water for this hydrant system. We have hydrant pumps which pump and give pressure to those to the water, and then we have a hydrant ring, a fire hydrant ring which runs around the facility, which risers at strategic points within the facility. These risers are for the connection of hydrant hoses.
In less than 2 years, G-Gas has become a household name for quality and trusted LPG gas in the southeast region of the country. But when did the story of the Bank of Industry's intervention in the business begin?
I happened to hear about Bank of Industry being interested in women coming into the oil and gas sector. A friend just pushed that out to me. I approached them without knowing any single person there. I got there, I was able to get an inroad into somebody, and they said, oh yes, we are interested in that. And that flared my interest. And I was given an appointment to come to the office and bring out my ideas, which I did. And they were very much interested and encouraged me from that point on. There was a commercial bid for a gas plant in Anambra, and I applied and I got it, and Bank of Industry took it up and gave me funds to get it and then set up the business.
Technology adoption in business operation has become very imperative for enterprises that desire to remain competitive, much more for those who want to remain relevant in the future. For G-Gas, that's the strategic approach to engaging the market.
Technology is a key part of our business right from the onset, right? I will start even from issues as far as trucking your product from the ports. Typically, it used to take 5 to 6 days, right? A driver picks up product at the port and starts to bring it down to our plant. They have to make several stops along the way. During those stops, many things happen. Some gas is stolen. there are always reasons to delay your product and you're not getting your product in full. Yeah, so we're leveraging technology to build GPS into our trucks with cameras that look at the driver and look at also the discharge points along the trucks that we manage and run. Right, so we're already using technology. We're using streaming video technology and GPS technology to track and see where our trucks go. And that has, once we implemented that, reduced the timeline of getting our product from 5 days to 2 days on average. Right. We also manage the facility all the way from the executive manager sits in Lagos, right? So we are able to leverage technology with our ERP solution, with our inventory management solution, with our streaming cameras. We're able to effectively manage our plant from Lagos. So essentially what we have are local people who are there to help manage our plants while we strategically manage the rest from Lagos. So those are some of the things that we've done thus far, leverage technology.
But with the adoption of technology comes the threat to employment in certain cases. GGAS ensures that the company maintains a healthy balance so jobs are still being created and preserved at the company.
Yeah.
A lot of our core thinking when we look at technology, rather, is that it's process driven. And I'm in IT. A lot of my background lies in application development, process engineering. So I could speak quite clearly to the fact that we, as an organization, we didn't overlook the human aspect of what we were trying to do, even when we were trying to implement technology. So even for our staff that are working in, they're quite happy to use the systems that we put in place, knowing full well that there isn't that idea that the systems that they're using could one day make them redundant, because it's been process driven. So we clearly identified the areas where technology would work and where technology would support the human resource. Also, we like to, again, the human resource is the most important aspect of any organization. So we try and make sure that our staff are quite well incentivized and happy to remain working for us.
The intervention of the Bank of Industry at GGAS was uniquely strategic in that it largely increased the company's capacity to deliver results. The MD CEO outlines the different areas of impact of the Bank of Industry's support.
The funding they gave me was in the region of 120 million. But what I have there is far in excess of that. And with that funds, we were able to buy some of the equipment to be used. What was sold to us, the tanks, the huge tanks that were sold to us, the tanks, in that business you use quite a number of pumps. Use a lot of pumps to dispense, to fill, to receive, and things like that. So they funded all that. But most of these things are continually being used. So you have to do replacement, you have to do change, you have to replace with parts and things like that. So we normally need a lot of foreign exchange to buy some of these parts. The equipment are there, but then you have to have replaceable parts, which we do. We also decided that one of the things to reach out to our customers is what we believe in home delivery. We have to acquire trucks. We acquired tricycles that we can take it to your doorstep. We bought Bobtail. Bobtail is a small truck. It's a small bridger that takes a small quantity to some of our customers, maybe hotels, hospitals, where we have to fill their existing huge tanks, the skid tanks. We do that. We also have a bridger. We have bridger that we use in transporting the cargo to our base.
And generation equality.
Gender inclusion is one of the major high points of the Sustainable Development Goals. During the commemoration of the International Women's Day earlier in the year, the MD CEO, Bank of Industry, Mr. Olukayode Piton, emphasized the bank's support for gender equality, especially in entrepreneurship, and the bank has continued to follow through with radical policies and solutions.
At the Bank of Industry, we continue to take deliberate steps to address issues around gender equality in entrepreneurship. BOI is a firm believer in gender equality and has positioned itself to ensure that women-owned and women-led enterprises are able to access cheap financing over long tenure and with favorable terms. BOI in 2007 established the Gender Business Group to help ease the challenges of access to finance faced by women-owned businesses and entrepreneurs. As of December 2019, the bank had disbursed its own funds in the form of cost long-term loans in excess of 37.9 billion naira for 496 women-led enterprises.
Being a beneficiary of intervention at the BOI through the bank's gender desk, Mrs. Olugbesan recognizes and appreciates the soft landing given to women and encourages other women to take the leap.
One of the things I found out when coming through the gender desk of BOI is that they waive some conditions for women. So I went in saying that, well, maybe the girls to say that, go and bring this, how will I get all these things? And when I got there and discussed with the gender desk, I realized that they waived quite a number of the conditions which they pushed out, which helped the woman in how you go about it. You know, you still have to do many things, but not as that of a man. I think that was a big. I mean, it's a big support for women, because one could easily get discouraged. I wasn't. I just thought, let me go. Whatever is what. Yes, if they do it, fine. They don't do it, fine. So I would use this opportunity to tell other women that it's not as bad. If you go in there, they are able to support you with some of these things, what they can waive for you, they would discuss with you. And that has been extremely, extremely helpful to me as a woman. And I believe that other women should take advantage of it.
GGAs may be new entrants in the LPG sector. However, they are confident that their core values of quality, safety, and fairness will help them make a difference in the long run.
Basically, we want to be synonymous with the term quality, safety, and fairness. So for our customers, when you engage us, when you see us outside, first off, we want to be known for our quality. And that's very crucial to our customers. They come to us knowing that the gas that they buy is not going to damage their equipment, and they're always going to get a certain quality that we ascribe to. And that's a part of us. So, you know, we want to be known for that. We do believe we've been pushing that out as part of our image and standards. Again, when you come to our GGAS site, hopefully we'll have more than one site, so let me just speak in plural. When you come to any of our sites, what we want you to feel is safe as well. So walking onto a site, you should get the impression that these guys know what they're doing. Gas is a very volatile substance, and a lot of people, believe it or not, hear these stories. There's many people that hear stories of gas plants blowing up here and fires here. So we want people to, as soon as you walk in and you encounter the setup, the way we're set up, the way we address safety, the way we inform and communicate this to our end users and anybody that's coming onto site should really be obvious to our customers. So we try to ensure that that's part of it. And on the last point, I would say fairness. Again, we're pretty new in the industry, so we've had to break grounds and break grounds into the markets that we were coming into. The only way we could do that again was by being fair on our pricing.
GGAS is not only technically sound, it's a culturally intelligent organization. That's why it takes its community relations very seriously. Even though the owners hail from the southwestern part of the country, a large percentage of their workforce is sourced locally, and they have maintained a cordial relationship with leaders of their host community.
We tell our staff, we tell them that they are essentially part of the business. They own the business. We try to get real buy-in from the people that work with us, right? And how do we do that? Again, I mentioned that we talked to the OB, right? We're working with the OB. He's connected us with community members, right? So they've helped us staff. They've helped with our market penetration. We'll continue to leverage those relationships to build out, and as we scale our business, we'll be able to leverage these relationships we've built with the community leaders that the OB has granted us access to engage the community, right? So the people that do actually come work for us have been given the opportunity to own a part of the business over time, right? So again, not only are we creating jobs, but we're creating potential wealth by them buying into, it's like buying into the business over time from how they work.
Nigeria has gone beyond the ethnic diversity. We've gone beyond that, because you can do business even where, just as you have quite a number of Igbos doing business and highly successful in Nigeria. I believe that is another way of me, a Yoruba woman, doing business in the East and being successful.
And here's how you know when a bank delivers on its promise. It leaves the customer with pure joy, hope, faith, and a heartfelt gratitude.
The way I will appreciate them is to seize this opportunity to say a big, big, big thank you to them. They have been highly, highly supportive.
There are quite a number of funds at the Bank of Industry targeted specifically at women or that have special consideration for women. One of them is the 90 million naira Business Development Fund for Women, BODFO, which BOI is executing on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. To begin, feel free to walk into any of the Bank of Industry's branches closest to you and ask to speak with them at the gender desk, or visit their website at boi.ng and search for business funds for women. Besides these, there are several other funds for other categories of businesses that you can benefit from. Make that move today and let the Bank of Industry support you. Remember, you can apply for BOI loans online by downloading the BOI SME Loan app from the Google Play Store and follow the instructions. Now, previous editions of the program are all available on youtube.com. Simply type BOI Weekly in the search area, and there you go. And that will be our package on the show for today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.